Hello, hello. So, nice to see you. Hello, Punky, and Qubit, and Origin. Good to see you. So, we are going to do some automation, is what we're going to do, and maybe some other things too. So, this is a little project I've been working on, which basically is just a Node API to do some automated PRs and hopefully make my life a little bit easier. So one thing I'm looking for is to, well, what was the whole point of this? So we recently did we made an improvement in Nuxt in this PR. That would use granular imports for auto imports. So this makes it slightly more performant when using Vite to use hash imports as opposed to hash app, because hash app is an alias to an actual barrel file, whereas hash imports actually gets transformed to be a specific path, like not the barrel file, but like the path where the composable is. And so I then wanted to help other people out who are using this, because I saw lots of people were using it. I often, by the way, when I'm making a change to Nuxt, use GitHub search to find how much it will affect people. So for example, what I'm looking at right now is, by the way, you can use regexp in this search if you don't know this. So you can actually do something like, I'm going to look for Nuxt module build. So that bit might be optional, and then it's going to be stub. Okay, so like I can search for that pattern, and it's going to find like, okay, there might be a build, but there might also not be a build, right? So the power of regular expressions in GitHub search is incredible, right? That's it's really neat. You can obviously do things like this as well. So I'm just searching the Nuxt modules org. Really, really useful kind of thing. But anyway, so then I see, oh, actually, all of these repos need to be updated. Sorry, Sally. Here you go. It's there. So all of these repos need to be updated. Like there are 33 here, instances of this. And I could also say, you know, like I'm only wanting to search package.json. So it's really useful. Aussie boy, nice to see you. But this is 33 modules that all have this use. And I could actually specifically search for, you know, anyway, this could be, yes, Qubit. Yorkshire tea. Absolutely. I need to put that in the users page. So I've written just a little recipe that is basically going to make this change to a repo to use the new module builder stub mode. We have this new stub mode. Where is it? Come on, pull requests. Oh, we might have, where did we build it? Prepare, maybe. It added a prepare command. Yeah. So this prepare command uses, it is what we're talking about. So it merged 7 months ago. It's had a fair amount of testing. So this is something I think we can do. Okay, so I've basically written this little thing, and I can basically run it like this. I have got this recipe, which is module stub, and then I can hit it on a given repo, and then I can also run it with debug, and it will just show me the changes that it will make. So in this case, I was thinking of doing it on Partytown. Great. Okay, and it's going to push a branch. And there we go. It's made the change for me. So this is right. But we can also then do this to help other people. Or just my modules would also be fine. Either way, it's a lot faster than making this change manually. Great. So I probably should have waited for that to finish, but it should be fine. Okay, so let's find some other examples where we need to fix this particular thing. That's fine. And I think we can search for and not this. Actually, I'm not sure. Can I use negative look-aheads in GitHub? Let's see. Is that going to work? Oh, negative look-ahead. I can never remember the syntax for all of these. That is right. It just doesn't support it. Okay. Oh well, that's a shame. That would have been very nice. Still, it's very useful. Okay, so we've got some modules. So actually, I can just we can just do them here. So we'll pop them in, and then do them all in a batch. So we've got some of these are my modules. That's really going to be the focus. But let's see. We've got next modules icon. Next modules. Actually, these are all next modules because that's where I'm starting from. We're going to do SVG sprite, storybook, kind. No, kind is fine. Google Fonts, design tokens. Superbase. One of the main reasons to do this, by the way, is to test things. So we can do, if I can figure out that there's an issue early on, we can solve it if there is in fact a problem. We actually, I guess we also need to make sure that we have an updated version of Module Builder. That's one more thing we can add to the recipe. Hanko is fine. Strappy, Snipcart, Cloudinary, Sanity is also migrated, and what else do we have? Stylent, Fontaine, Harlem, Google AdSense, very pleasingly already has it. Plausible, HTML Validator, Tailwind CSS, LogRocket, Algolia, Color Mode, Anthony, nice to see you. That is exactly right. So I've written this little thing that I think does it pretty well. I will open source it if people are interested. Oops. Okay, so we've got a little list of repositories, and I think those should all be main branch. Oh, we have a master. I don't know why we have a master branch, but... And any other ones? Master. No. Okay, so I think we can just iterate through them. And we also need to make sure that we have got the... let's see. Try contents, and then we'll do this. Yes, the script very much should actually do the search as well. Well, the thing is that I have got this the support for repos, and the idea is once we have this, we can then just iterate over it. As in, you build up a large list of repos that you care about making fixes to, and then make sure that each recipe is idempotent. So it doesn't, if it runs a second time and there's no changes to make, then it won't make any changes. So we also need to make sure that we have the right version of module builder, which is 0.4.0. That'll be a little bit more difficult. I might need to do that manually when I create the PR. Okay, so I think what we should be able now to do is just run this. Okay, so it's got a fork for me of icon. It's renamed it. It has a consistent icon. It has a consistent naming algorithm. Okay, so this has created a PR. That looks good. Let's just confirm that we have the right version of the module builder. Well, that's unhelpful, but yes, it is. Okay, create pull request. Oh, rats. SVG sprite is probably also not main. It's probably also a master. Let's see. SVG sprite and device. Strappy is dev. Okay. And I'll just comment icon out. You're right, color mode is. I think. Okay. Let's try it again. Reset. Oops, I think I need to make this a little bit more fail tolerant. Mehmet, good to see you. Yeah, auto-creating the PR. I think I basically just need to push this so Anthony can make lots of improvements to it. So I could auto-create the PR, but I did want there to be a human touch in there to make sure that I didn't create it if it wasn't quite right. So like in this case, I think it should be fine, right? But at the same time, I do just want, and these are all in the next modules repo, but like I don't want to have a full, oh, and actually I should be adding a description to this. Okay, let's see. What we want to say is ever since we added a prepare command for next module build, which allows creating type stubs directly from the module without needing to apply to the playground as well. This should allow, it's the default for new modules. Allow us to match types more appropriately for module authors. For example, disallowing auto imports in future. Okay, so we can then update that here. And now, obviously, we have an issue actually that we've created. Aussie boy, thank you. Interesting. I'm guessing this might be to do with the version of Nuxt module builder. Okay, so this is why it makes sense, right, to do these things like manually. Let's open Google Fonts, but we'll have to come back to that one. Pop this in here, just confirm. We'll see. Julien. Okay. Interesting. This one hasn't made a change to the TS config, and I wonder why. I see. This is my own module. But I mean, this kind of thing, if it works, no tea today. Well, I left my cup in the kitchen, so I'll have to pop out and grab it in a second. But it occurs to me that things like this could be quite useful for, actually for people like Anthony, who have a huge number of repos that you maintain. And you need to do things like make an update or something. Afternoon, Winter. Now, I also have an idea for another enhancement that we can make with automation, basically which will be useful for people who have private projects, who want to be able to ensure that there are, as in it's not a public project. So we have an ecosystem CI, but the idea here is that we will provide a, like the other side of ecosystem CI. Well, this is just a sample recipe. Like you can create any recipe for any different use case you might have. So you can, for example, update your ESLint config or DG pure lock file or whatever kind of recipe you want to do. You just write it in JavaScript and it allows you to execute it. Yeah, a number of these actually do need the module builder to be updated. So we'll have to go back through those and just make sure we don't leave people with broken repos if they merge this. That is something I guess I should have added to this too. But the ones that don't that aren't throwing an error, it also generally means that there's an issue in that they're not actually running the stub command in CI, which maybe they don't have a test, which is problematic. But at least some of them do, and that's good. It's probably very boring, but basically, hopefully we'll. How many of these are there? Okay, let's just check that we've got the latest module builder here. Yeah, that's fine. Here. I think that should be fine, but let me just check. .4.0, and we released it there, so that should be fine also. This one is critters. This is again my own repo, and it's up to date. Okay, Stylent I think should be fine too. Looks like Apollo might also be another one that has master. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, now some of these are failing, which is interesting, because maybe I need to figure out if that's an issue with the implementation or not. Okay, this should be fine to merged. This is interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we've just opened a load of PRs, and I now need to confirm that we've not broken anything for any of these people. And then we can do some more good stuff. Okay, that's merged. It's merged. LogRocket is fine. Color mode, I think I can go ahead and merge directly in a moment. We probably also want to, oh, interesting. Why would this fail? Ah. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Eminox. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that. And it's good. 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 we're going to quickly fix some of these. Okay, so workspace, Nuxt modules, snipcart, and we will Nuxt module snipcart, and we will just very quickly fix this one. What is it using? PNPM? I need to use no npm. NI Nuxt module builder. I should have added this to the install thing, but we basically need to. What is going on? Interesting. Wait, it's not NI, is it? It's antfoo NI. Is that right? npx. Something like this. npx. I wonder if I can just execute it directly. Probably not. Do I just need to install it globally? I guess maybe. I just don't like installing things globally on my system. Let's try that again. Why is this doing this? Oh, it needs I guess. What? Does it need up? I don't understand why I'm struggling with this. Okay, let's reset all of this. Try running this again. And what are we wanting? NI is short for install, so we should add Nuxt module builder at 0.5.4, I guess is the latest version. What? Well, that will just, okay. Can I update? Let me see. Okay. This is very weird. Why is it not working for me? I'm expecting this would... I was thinking this would save me some effort here. But actually, I guess I just want to manually, like it's going to be much faster just to open this and say module builder 0.5.4 and then install. That's weird. Zero 0.5.4. Did I release it? Yeah, it's published. So why wouldn't it be able to install it? Oh, it's legacy peer depths. Yeah, there's clearly more to be resolved here. But I want to make a minimum of changes to this project, right? Okay, so right, so we basically have that's my own module, which I'm going to ignore. We have got color mode, which we can go ahead and squash and merge. Plausible. Interesting. Okay, I might follow up on some of those a little bit later. Hey, Joaquin, hello, nice to see you. And origin, what were you going to write? Update kitten schema. That is probably the right thing to do. Okay, so that was just snipcut. And what's next? Probably emotion. Procard, hello. I'm going to try and do the same here. This is next module builder at 0.5.4. And that's right. We need a device. And all of this should actually really be then put into the recipe. So let's just try the You're waiting for a new Sanity module version. Since when? What are you expecting? There's no changes since the last release. So we've got 1.8.3 released 3 weeks ago. Is there a particular thing that you want to see in the new version? Oh, congratulations, Kerry. That is it's great news. So what we really should have done here in our module stub is added this step of await run. Nope. There we go. That would have done it for us. Like that would have been the thing to add in the initial recipe, but I didn't think about it at the time. Oops. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's not going to be in January as such, but it will be pretty soon in the new year. It could be January, who knows? Okay, we need turnstile, interestingly, is failing here. It's complaining at config of type unknown. Right. I think I can finish these up another time. This is not that interesting. But this is what I wanted to do next. Oops, that was my personal calendar. New space. We're just going to call this automation. Okay, so what we want to do here is, let's see, GitHub. We have ecosystem CI, which basically what ecosystem CI does is it runs tests. You'll see some failing tests here. So we're running tests to check whether the latest changes we've made in Nuxt are compatible with the latest changes in various different modules. So for example, there's a failing test for DevTools, and before we release 3.9, we're going to want to make sure we figure out what's going on here. And we seem to have an issue with passing the latest version of standard env, which is probably something that we care about. Histoire, I think, has an issue with the fact that it's a type issue. We've updated to v5 and Histoire is still on v4. So that's not something I'm worrying about unduly. OG image has a problem, which is that there's an HTML mismatch. What's the difference? It doesn't look like a huge difference. This is probably a slight difference between v5 and not, but it's basically mismatching on a snapshot, which is always slightly tricky because these don't necessarily differ hugely. Diff to files. I just want a quick diff checker. There we go. Seems useful. So I'm just going to quickly copy and paste these in. And this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Find the difference. Okay. That is something we can. That's okay. That's not anything to worry about. Okay, and UI. But anyway, this is quite useful, right? So it tells us things. So this is a type issue, and it's not our type issue. This is probably a change in view types. But what if you want to run this test locally? Hey, Aqua. What if you want to run this test in your project, so you know in advance whether it's going to be compatible with the next version? I think that would be a useful thing to have available to people. If in that case we okay, so basically what we want to do is have a little workflow. So let me open, say, my own website. And we're going to create a workflow that other people can use. So we're going to say nightly, Nuxt nightly. We're going to want to make this run periodically. So we will open up actually we'll use ecosystem CI as a quick example of what we want to do. So we're going to run on a schedule, makes sense. And we also want it to be dispatchable. Okay, so we're going to call this Nuxt nightly. That's fine. And we want a workflow dispatch. Should be fine. And then we need to have we'll have some jobs, and basically we'll have some steps. I'm just copying and pasting these to get me started a bit faster. Okay, so what we'll want to do is we'll run test, Nuxt nightly, test, and we don't need that. fail fast, I guess. It's not relevant. Okay, so we'll check it out with node version. We will enable core pack. I guess we need to install packages. Can I just, maybe I can run antfoo and I help. Let's see, does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay, great. Maybe we use 20. But the reason we use 18 is that we still support 18. It's still a valid one. So if there are any bugs or issues that are going to crop up with 18, we want to know. So we want to pick the lowest common denominator, as in, do you know what I mean? I would urge anyone else to use 20 in your project, but we need to check in 18 to make sure that there are no regressions for people before it stops being supported. Okay, so what you want to do is install, so our to-do, yeah. So this page is, oh, they've changed it. Okay, release schedule. So basically, yeah, you can see that sort of the current node 18 is currently in maintenance mode. Node 20 is active, and 21 is in development, right? So these are the LTS versions. One is in maintenance still, and the other is active. So what we want to do is basically install nightly release of Nuxt and run test suite. And the best way to do that is probably going to be to create a PR and then close it. I guess like a long running PR maybe, because I don't want to have to like install package dependencies. So we would probably want to do something like create PR, and then automatically whatever workflow you have going will run. That makes sense to me. Does that make sense to people? And then we just rely on GitHub Action. There are your own GitHub Actions to do this. And we can ultimately maybe package this as a action on itself. So let's see. Could I run antfoo and I like Fontaine? Would that install that for me? It seems to be doing it. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll install we also need to add it to the overrides, I think, to prevent there from being any issues. Okay, we're going to do Nuxt nightly at latest. We might need a little bit more than this, right? Right. I think we need a script. And we need to create this as a GitHub action, I think. So, okay, creating a GitHub action. Yes, it needs to be a fully... What is a composite action? Anyone know what a composite action is and why it would be a composite action? Okay, it's explaining it. So, okay, JavaScript action is faster, so we'll do that. Okay, so we will create a GitHub action to test the latest version of Nuxt. So we will create, what do we call it? Nuxt action. Okay, so we've got a project which has got nothing going on. Do we need to clone a sample repo? No. Okay. We'll just create a basic pnpm file and we'll install some things. So and we're going to create a file which we're going to compile this all, I think, into a single binary. So we're not going to write it in CJS, for goodness sake. We're going to call this index.ts. And it is basically going to import some stuff. Actions core, actions GitHub, and then it's going to do, it looks like we just run it directly, console log running action. We're going to need a build for it. Now NCC, which is what they're recommending, can I directly build that? I think off of JavaScript. Yes, probably can't. Okay, I can directly compile from TypeScript. That is very cool. Amazing. So we'll do that. TypeScript, and we need a TS config, and we are going to do node 16, and target is, I guess, that's reasonable. We'll try that. And we'll install also NCC, Vercel NCC. And then we're going to have a build command, which is going to be build that. And let's try it. Try it again. Beautiful. Okay, so that's compiling our project for us into a single file. And we are going to need to add a getignore file also. Beautiful. and we have got some more options there which we can use in a second. But we'll do that. And it looks like we need to include this in a we need to include this in our repository, which is a real pain, but that seems to be required. So actually, we're not going to get ignore dist. Well, that is a shame, but yeah, okay. And then our main is going to be our dist file. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so this is, I think, our basic setup for a GitHub action. And sorry, I have missed your context, Joaquin. Line 2 from action GitHub. Do you mean? Oh, yeah, it should be actions GitHub. So we've got some stuff that we can hook into. But basically what we want to do here is add package resolutions for next nightly versions, open a PR, and create a long-running branch. And we probably also want to, I think that seems dedupe dependencies. Right, and we'll have to handle that for different package managers, I guess. And so we'll need some configuration maybe. Configuration, point to next directory, default repo root. This all seems good. Okay, this will set us up to build this. I'm going to take a quick break and get my tea, and anything that anybody else wants. This is a good time to grab a break, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. See you all soon. Okay, I am back with my tea. So I think this is basically what we want to do. And we might want to be able to just run this. I can test my on my own repo, I think. But I need to know, do I have any special powers with GitHub Actions? I want to be able to do things like with the GitHub token. Okay, let's have a quick look at this repo. This doesn't seem to be tremendously useful, but yes. Okay. This is fine. We'll use bump, I think, for creating new versions. And it does make sense, I guess, that we put it in a source folder. Okay. And then we need an action YAML. I'm very distractible. So like you can distract me with bugs, which I'm very happy to fix. Okay, the name of the action is going to be called, let's just take a quick look at some stuff. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to push this all up to Nuxt GitHub action. So we're going to call this Nuxt, maybe Nuxt nightly action. Yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay. Nuxt nightly action. And that's probably because we have nothing committed yet. So make it MIT. You also probably want to take advantage of various metadata in our package JSON. I wonder if I could do this with type module. Like, do you think it supports it? Anyway, let's see. An action to test a repository against the latest. No, it's the sound of rain falling in the background. That is what you're hearing. Okay. Okay, that's basically what we want, I think. And we won't commit our dist yet. So we'll just stick this up. Daniel, hello. I'm glad. Be interesting to see if we could run it using ESN, but anyway, no need to make it too complicated too soon. And what would we say? We want a GitHub I wonder if I have a way of seeing what options are available for GitHub branding. I'm guessing probably I can see in a GitHub issue. So basically, I probably want to have like a nightly or maybe moon. Yeah, that's right. Okay. What was that? Moon? Just moon. Okay. Icon. Moon. And we'll say, we'll drop that. And we will commit this as well. And then I'm going to get distracted with what Mehmet asked about. Okay. Oh, what is this? It's a bit strange. I bet it's because it's created it with HTTPS rather than... Yes, it has. Okay. So git at github.com. Right, how do we do that? There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we are good to go, I think. Let's see. What makes it discoverable? Yeah. Oh. Cool. Okay, so I do apparently need a color. And ideally also a README, which makes perfect sense. And yeah, README makes sense. And we probably want to publish this just so I can debug and test it. But we need some code. So let's just quickly write some stuff. So basically, what we want is to run something. So we will import from node child process. What's going on there? Oh, do I have to tell TypeScript that we are in a node environment? Yeah, that would probably, that would do it. Okay. And I want to run like exec sync. So I'm just going to run like mdx and foo ni Fontaine. Let's just try that. And let's see what happens if I build it. Interesting. I see. And so I now have Fontaine. Beautiful. Okay. We can try that in a sec with a playground. So we're going to install a new Nuxt project. I'll do it with bun. Playground. Cool. Cool. So what will we do? We'll basically say, and that needs to run in the package that we have access to, I guess. So what we're actually going to run is nuxc at latest upgrade force. So we'll try that. And we will build. Yeah, that's. Hey, Nicky T. Welcome team. What have you been talking about today? Any exciting things happening in your part of Twitch? Right. So I'm going to bump the version, delete that for a second. Ugh, go away. Release, right? It's going to be bump and just bump, I guess. Actually, what's the latest? I need to check Anthony's blog in order to figure out the latest. Where is it? I thought there was notes, maybe. Yeah. To copy the latest one. Okay. Warning. This action is currently under development. And may not behave as expected. Cool. Images of graphs using Playwright. Nice. Okay, this is going to be dependency management, I guess. And CI. How to become a software engineer, not a Vue, Next, React senior developer. Tell me more about what you mean. I will see if I can answer the question. Cool. Okay, so now we have something we can use to demo exactly what's going to happen. And also this is probably going to be a good example of what we would want to do. Oh, we should just do latest. Okay, so this should now run. Unfortunately, it's also going to run everything else. Oh, I added it as workflow dispatch, but actually I just want to test. So I should run this on push in this particular case. And I probably also want to get rid of all my other workflows. Oh, I see what you mean. No, you're quite right. I mean, yeah. I think it's it's a great idea to specifically so I mean, how do you become a software developer? I would just learn. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry too much about. I would certainly master the skills that you're using, and then learn more skills. I think going beyond the docs and like figuring out why things work the way they work in the framework that you're using is a very good way to do that, maybe. Branches, what's this branch? This is a pain. Why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting this to run? It's on pull request. Okay, let's just have a quick check of my actions. Okay, what's the failure? Users must be a path Docker image or owner repo at ref. Okay, so it actually has, okay. So the issue is it needs to say at v.o.1. Okay, I'm confused. This, right? That is, okay, it's just my lint. Specify version. Okay, so we have to specify the version. That makes sense. And that's why it wasn't running. Now, nothing will happen because we haven't said that we're going to push anything, right? So, and it's probably also, yeah, it's interesting. No lock files. Huh. Okay, so now we have to figure out things like what's the environment like? Because we haven't cloned. I guess we haven't cloned the repo, so which actually makes sense. So what we would want to do is add some more stuff to the instruction. So we basically, what's our pull request? We removed some stuff. I'll just copy some from the existing workflow, and it would basically be something like this. All of that, I guess it would happen after this, right? So there we go. And we would do something like add missing steps. Let's try that again. I'm sorry it wasn't that helpful advice, maybe. It's, you're certainly without sarcasm, but okay. There we go. So I'm expecting this to complete now, at least, and it won't do anything. Right, so what we actually want our GitHub action to do is not this. We actually want to install like the whole suite of Nuxt packages pinned to their nightly versions, and we also want to add overrides. Now, I don't know if Ant supports doing this, but I think almost all, so yeah, that ran, which was fine. Ponky, have a good evening. So we want to be able to and commit some stuff. So let's see. Can I commit get octokit? Yeah. Okay, that's for interacting with GitHub, which we'll need. And here we will add some logging. I think that's what we would be able to do with this bit. Okay, so const octokit. Is that right? Okay. So we are then going to be able to do stuff like octokit. Yeah, okay. GraphQL and REST dot. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so all pretty straightforward, I guess. So we want to do something like create a branch. Okay, get branch. Interesting. I guess this is for interacting with GitHub, I guess. Okay, we can just do that locally, I suppose. No. Can we do that here somehow? No. Okay, so I guess Interesting. Okay. OctoKit. Yeah. So what you probably want to do is we're going to create a pull request, and we're going to want to, let's see. I think that's what we wanted to do, right? We're going to, let's see, we do this in Nuxt, I think. Do we create a pull request? We have changelog and sets and update changelog, and we do this. Create a pull request and head base body draft. Okay. Does that all make sense? So we'll set it to be a draft. The base is going to be Nuxt nightly. We would head owner and repo. In a sense, I mean, it's our own repo here, but I wonder if there's a way to read that in from the GitHub action. Get input. Thank you. Oh, but that's the that is just based on the action YAML, right? So that we specifically allow, we have some defaults. Okay, so that's we're supporting different options. So we basically have a base, head, owner, and repo we need. I'm not entirely sure why we actually need all of these to be specified, but it would be ideal if we could. So we're going to specify some defaults. And we must be able to read this in from the I wonder if we could actually just stick that here, like in the action YAML. What do you think? Like if we have a default, would that work? So what we would want to say is something like owner. Is that maybe going to be able to pull it in for us? Anybody know? So we need to have base, owner, head, and repo. And is this the best way of running it? We could also just have a test command. Okay, so what we all want to do is do some GitHub stuff first. Get stuff first. So just run some direct git. So git branch we're going to call that CI Nux nightly. We are going to delete it if it exists. Then we're going to check out a new one, or try to check it out. Okay, so we'll want to do something like exec sync. What is it? Git print git branch. No, I have got to say that nobody tells me that. But I mean, I find it out, like people post on GitHub or Twitter, I mean, so. Interesting. Base owner and head. I don't think it makes sense to configure this. In all honesty. So I think maybe I could just do something like repo is octokit rest get current origin. Okay, makes sense. And okay, so we basically have something which is that. We have an owner, and we have then a repository name, and we are going to name this owner and repo. Okay, so that should pull us in the current details. Head, I mean this we do want to be configurable. And the base branch, I think, is also reasonable to be configurable. Okay, so we'll pull that out, and then we'll respect these two config options, base and head. And head, we'll also specify the default here, because it makes sense, because users will be able to see that. And okay, we don't need to specify owner, but we will specify base. Okay, and then what we want to be able to do now is, hey Andre, good to see you. Oh, and Daniel, whoa, sorry, I meant your post-tasting stuff. Great. Oh, that's much better if you can do that directly. And Daniel, you're heading off. Enjoy. And yes, your PR to kind. It is on my mind. Okay, so this is actually much better, much more straightforward. Is github.context, yes, .repo.owner, beautiful, and repo is .repo.repo, I guess. In fact, I would just happily pass these directly, and I don't think we'll need them apart from here. Beautiful, much better. And we have this, okay. Okay, so that's good. We still do want to allow the user to configure the head and the base. Otherwise, we are going to check it out and create a PR. So we are then going to, this will just be an example PR, and we'll commit everything. Commit AM. There we go. And then we'll need to push it. Get push. So that is reasonable. Let's just try that. Chore, try initial PR creation flow. See if that works. Okay, and I think we should be able to use the hash as a version in our, let's try that. We're going to want to reset though. So if we create a new branch, we're going to need to run. What would we run? We would run reset branch to main. Okay. Oh, I see. It needs a base needs to be required false or something like that. Is that fair? Okay, so that's now run. So we ran Nux nightly. Did it create a PR? No. Okay, so it ran it. Oh, but it's still running. Still running. No, it didn't run. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so we're running it now. You're right. It probably does need to. Probably do need to configure that. Actually, if you don't, it just runs as GitHub. So you'll see like a GitHub bot appear. So, okay, so that ran, but it doesn't seem to have done anything, or at least we're not getting any logs, which I think because we manually need to log stuff out with our sort of GitHub core actions core here. So we need basically to where I suppose they're going to give us a info. Is there a warn as well? Yeah. Okay. Basically, what we need to do here is info, create a new branch. Oh, yeah, we did push. We probably should be able to push anyway. Yeah, okay, so it did that. It did the push. Oh, no, sorry, this is the wrong thing. Oh, I see, there's already a nightly. And that's the one I happen to have picked. Nux nightly, okay, no, there isn't. Maybe it's the permissions. Maybe that's right. Maybe we need the token needs to come from GitHub context. Do I have token? Maybe it just has to be set specifically. And so in that case, I wish I could get it to pull in. I guess it makes sense that we don't allow it, but basically, I guess we need to specifically set this up. So, env This is nice. Okay, it doesn't seem to have worked this time either. We still don't have our Nux nightly branch. Oh, ha. None of this has been running because we've not built it at any point. Okay, so let's just, so we need to check out existing branch. Right. Whoa, why is it so big? Because it includes a lot of GitHub Actions stuff, right? Okay, so now we have a latest version of this, and we're going to need to update the hash again. Right. Well, that didn't work because the import isn't correct. So basically we want to likely do something like star as GitHub, or we could instead just do get octokit and context. I guess would probably work just as well. And just delete the Hello, Fimian. Welcome and thank you. It's nice to have you here. We are in the midst of creating a GitHub action, which I've never done before, so this is fun. Let's see. Let's add a pre-commit hook. And we will just make sure we build every time before committing, which I think would be a reasonable thing. So we will do run build or pnpm build. Okay, and we will just quickly commit that. Add git commit hook. No, that didn't work. We have to add it, of course, to install yes. So what we want to do is something like scripts prepare, and we'll run that. Let's see, let's try that again. Okay, and undo the last commit and run this again. Yep, it's working. Okay, nice. So that is good. Oh, what happened? We failed, I guess. Aha! Okay, so it needs information on who we are. That is fine. You think prepare will cause a problem with GitHub Actions? I have tried act, although it's been a while. Yeah. Okay, so basically we have got, at this point, we need to identify ourselves with a, this is an action. And so, of course, we can identify ourselves in any way we wish. What would make sense? This is also not the command we want to do, but I just want to get it up and running so it's actually doing something, so it feels better. Okay, so we have in Nuxt, we have change login sets, and we basically do this. So I can do the same here for the moment. And we'll do something like Nuxt bot. Yeah, all working well. And then we now have a hash, which we will use here again. Interesting find, Mehmet. That is not great, is it? That's not ideal if it's so costly in terms of time. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this is now we have, we need a title for the PR that we're creating. This is all going in the right direction. Okay, so we have, although it should have really complained, I think, but we need to create a body and a title, I think. So, try latest Nuxt nightly version, and body is this. We probably want to Nuxt nightly action. I could actually just run this locally, actually, but I want to get us to a point where it's running, all the tokens are coming through, like it's something that feels like it's working. What? Did I just run this? Yeah, it failed. What again is the issue this time? Ah. Right, because we are basically, what are we doing? We are oof. Okay, I'm going to figure out what that is in a second, but for now, I'll just quickly delete the branch and rerun the action. Okay, so it ran and created a PR. Great, this is what we want. So we basically have our Nuxt bot creating a PR, and we have this is what we want. Except we don't want this. We want it to prepare the overrides. So it's just a matter of a few extra changes. And then we have to handle updating the branch. So that's good. Right, so what we want to do at this point is figure out the command to set the overrides. And I think that should be pretty straightforward. So we're going to use ni as well. So we will basically, instead of doing this, actually run the upgrade and set overrides. We're going to do @foo ni nuxt npm nuxt nightly at latest. And we're going to do the same for Nuxt kit and Nuxt schema immediately. And what else? Vite Builder. Just check what the actual Nuxt packages are. Vite, Webpack, Schema, Nuxt, Kit. Okay, those are the main ones. Webpack, I think, will be a separate. I don't think I want to sort of force people to have Webpack installed. Upgrade Nuxt packages. What I want to know is it possible to set overrides? I mean, it is possible, but okay. And we also want to support configuring the directory. So root is something like okay, const root is the path to your Nuxt project. And this is going to be the name of the branch to create with changes. Oops. Okay, description, the base branch. To raise the PR against. On a break. You thought that because I accidentally clicked to me being an enormous face. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have root is going to be get input root. And it's actually going to be used down here. Okay. Okay. So ideally, we would dedupe dependencies here as well, and also we want to handle like resetting the branch. So basically, we would want to. So if we can check it out, then we would want to reset the discard commits. Okay. Base. Okay. Great. So obviously we have p and pm dedupe. I don't know if we can do the same for others. But anyway, that is definitely a to-do. So we basically, let's see, what have we done? Support additional options. And we now have a new hash. We will finish in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to try this and see where we've got to. And then we will pick up another day. But I'm pleased with where we've got to so far. Oh, this is probably not going to work because we are opening a PR, but now it's already open, right? So we want to create updates. Yeah, well, and what do we do in changelog in update? We create. Yeah, we create or update it. And we have to handle that as well. Okay. So I think it's probably going to create a new PR. We'll have 6 PRs, 2 duplicate ones. Oh no, it probably won't work because it probably just won't be able to open the new PR, but the branch will probably be updated, and it probably what's going to happen? Because it's not going to be able to push, right? Because it would have to force push it. So only create PR if it does not exist. I guess there should be an async function. We also probably want to do things like add a changelog. And maybe allow people in some way to interact with it. interestingly, this is failing. It's probably failing because of something needs to be deduped, I would guess. Maybe not, maybe there is a bug. Playwright needs to be installed. So it's not a bug, but beautiful. Okay, that actually ran quite well. It updated the PR, didn't create a new PR as that it already exists. Wonderful. So we now have a Nuxt nightly update, which is beautiful. It's doing what we want to do. Okay, this is good. And I'm pleased that things are working. And we maybe have a little bit more work to do before this is ready to go. But thank you everybody for joining me and helping me focus on building this. And be nice to ship this at some point so people can check that their projects will continue to work with new Nuxt versions. Let's figure out if there's someone we should go watch to raid as we finish. Let's see. Do people feel like the Primogen? Same to you. Same to you, Jochen. Happy days. See you all later. Bye.